Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video I will be looking at one of the most important battleground states in the 2020 election, and that is the state of Florida. I'll be looking at the most recent polls as well as the polling averages and trying to determine who has the best chance of winning this crucial state. Now, as you can see, currently Joe Biden holds a 2.4% lead over Donald Trump. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting margin to look at, especially if you look at other battleground states where Joe Biden has a much larger lead over Donald Trump. So, to see that the state of Florida is so close and as close as it is something that we should keep an eye on very closely, as only a couple weeks ago Joe Biden was up about 6 points, and Trump has been able to narrow it down to just over 2. Now, if we look at the most recent polls coming out today, we have 3 polls from Monmouth University, and these polls are generally very accurate. As you can see, it's rated A plus by 538, and 2 of these polls had Biden up by 5, and one of them had Biden up by 3. Now this obviously adds to the polling average so far, and today it actually got a little bit closer, and that is because these polls had Trump with actually a pretty high amount of votes. Usually Trump is down at 42% or 43%, and these polls have him up at 46 and 45. Obviously Biden being up around the 50 is a very good spot to be for him, and these are some very accurate polls to keep in mind. And 2 more down here, which is very interesting to look at, from Marist College, also rated A plus by 538. This was just a week ago, had Trump up 1 and had the state of Florida being even. Now, it's very interesting to look at these 2 differentials of the polls, both very highly respected polls, having 2 pretty different outcomes, being 6 points apart from each other. So if you were to ask me yesterday who I thought would win the state of Florida, I would have said Trump by a narrow margin just because of these 2 polls. But now, since these 3 have come out today, I'm not ready to classify Florida as leaning to either candidate just yet. I think as we see this polling average narrow, it's going to be a very close race all the way to the finish. But neither side seems to be having a clear advantage so far. You could say Biden has a slight advantage just because the polling average is in his favor. But it's interesting to note that so far in the campaigning process, neither candidate has really spent much time in the state of Florida. And that makes you wonder if internal polling suggests that the state actually leans more to one candidate than the other, and there's no real clear way of seeing which one that is. But if you look at the demographic of Florida, there's a lot of a very high older population in the state of Florida, and currently the older population isn't too happy with Donald Trump as president, as he recently just cut funding for Social Security, so that could serve as a huge blow to the older population voting for Trump, and that is especially prominent in the state of Florida. Another thing to look at in Florida, it's considered to be Trump's second home. He won the state by over 1 point in 2016, and there's been a lot of enthusiasm for Trump coming out of this state, where they recently had a very large boat parade in which they attempted to break the Guinness World Record. So there's a lot of enthusiasm coming out of that side, but the demographics and the polling slightly suggest that Biden should have a small advantage in this state. But like I said, this is a very important state in this election, as it was in 2016, and as this race continues to get closer and closer, as it very rapidly has over the past few weeks, it'll be interesting to look at who is able to pull ahead, and if the candidates begin to put more energy and campaigning into this state, as it is going to be very crucial for whoever becomes president and whoever wins this election. Florida will play a large role in that. So that was just a quick overview of what's happening in a very important battleground state in this upcoming election. If you enjoyed, please like it and subscribe. we will most likely have more videos coming out of general election predictions, as well as some more analysis on each of the battleground states. So more to come. Thank you.